Welcome back to your latest aviation news recap for the week, and it's been a busy start, it must be said, with an absolutely massive aircraft order being announced worth up to almost 3 digits. There is news on Vistara, which is expanding its services to Europe, and Qantas features twice with some pretty intriguing developments, one positive and then one very much negative. Where to begin though? Well, that's no doubt with the major order that was placed by the Air France KLM Group, saying that they'll take 50 Airbus A350s with purchase rights for a further 40 units. That means in total up to 90 A350s can be delivered to the group. The landmark deal has been in the making for some time, as the group looks to enhance its fleet with more fuel-efficient aircraft and provide it with far more flexibility to allocate aircraft within its portfolio airlines. This is based on factors such as market dynamics, local regulator conditions, and so on. These Airbus A350s are slated to replace the 777-200s and Airbus A330s that are currently operational at the two respective major European carriers. At Air France KLM, these two aircraft have been hugely influential in their service over the decades. However, they are both equally aging, and the group believes that now is certainly a time for a change in direction towards these fuel-efficient aircraft. As part of the deal, Air France KLM will acquire not only the A350-900, which is already operational with Air France as you may be aware, but also the high-capacity A350-1000, with deliveries slated for the first batch from 2026 through to 2030. Now, if the group sees continued solid growth and believes there is a need for additional Airbus A350 units, that is why they're covered with 40 extras coming up as purchase options. It isn't uncommon for purchase options to be included in deals, and while they may not be acted on, it's great to have this there for a group that is targeting a substantial amount of growth looking ahead. It's been pretty doom and gloom for Qantas, and don't worry, like I said at the beginning of this video, there would be 2 topics to cover on the Australian flag carrier, but I thought, continuing with the good news around an aircraft order, I would move towards the more positive topic regarding Qantas, and that comes following a group market update of September 25th, where they did announce adjustments to their global route network, and this was in the realm of actual expansion. Notably, thanks to new aircraft deliveries and also wet leasing arrangements, Qantas will be able to boost its international capacity alongside sister airline Jetstar. The Australian group says it'll look towards a 12% increase by the end of the 2023 calendar year as part of its continued commitment to ramping up international services. As you may recall, from around the early point of 2020 right through to 2022, the Qantas international network was substantially hampered due to government restrictions, with Qantas being one of the last airlines to really recover that demand. One of their biggest ambitions has been to continue rebuilding, restoring, and growing their international network. And while at the moment they may not have as many aircraft as they would ideally want to be able to, say, expand to all the possible destinations that are in view, if they can make minor changes here or there, they do see a benefit for their customers. Notably, Qantas will resume its Sydney to Shanghai service from October 29th with 5 flights departing per week. The Airbus A330-200 will be deployed on this service toward the major Asian city. Meanwhile, the group will utilise Brisbane as a critical gateway for new services on Brisbane to Wellington and Brisbane to Honiara, which is the capital of the Solomon Islands. Jetstar will launch a new Brisbane to Tokyo service too, and this Jetstar growth is all being made possible thanks to the arrival of their A321neo LRs, which has really been fantastic for expansion into Asia, utilization across the domestic network, and reducing pressure felt on their Boeing 787s, which have naturally that higher capacity. Currently, the Qantas Group is undergoing its most considerable fleet renewal process in group history, kind of already mentioned there, just for example with the addition of the A321LRs for Jetstar. And with new aircraft slated to arrive every month soon and continued commitments to planes being placed, new route opportunities are definitely becoming available, such as the ones aforementioned, and don't worry, there are likely more to come in the future. So feel free to drop potentially where you'd like to see Qantas fly to in the coming decade, whether that be for Project Sunrise with their 787-10s or something else in between. Meanwhile, taking place in India, Vistara has announced direct flights between Mumbai and Frankfurt. From the 15th of November 2023, the airline will launch a 6 times weekly service, joining an existing Delhi to Frankfurt service. So this will be the second connection Frankfurt has to India with Vistara. The Delhi to Frankfurt service was launched at the beginning of 2021 and has been hugely important to the Indian airlines since that launch. The chief executive officer of Vistara said, "We are delighted to expand our international network with the launch of this new service between Mumbai and Frankfurt. Our long-haul routes connecting Delhi with London Heathrow, Paris and Frankfurt have been very popular amongst our customers, which give us the confidence to offer similar connections from Mumbai as well." This will be our second long-haul route from Mumbai, in addition to the 5 times weekly service to London Heathrow, and we hope that our customers will appreciate having the option of flying with India's best airline on this sector. Vistara says the upcoming route will feature their 3-class Boeing 787-9, equipped with business, premium economy, and economy cabins, offering customers ample travel choices. It's going to be very interesting to see how Vistara handles competition in the coming years, especially from Indigo, who are looking to expand in the Indian market with more long-haul flights. On to the final story of the day, and yes, that is covering Qantas once more, but not necessarily in the most positive light. As you may recall, Alan Joyce departed the airline a couple of weeks ago now, which was always going to be expected, but he left much earlier than what he initially had announced. This is because the pressures felt at the airline are continuing to rise, whether that be related to illegally firing employees, continuing to rise prices, and having a pretty bad rep with customers. While now a union which is directly responsible for pilots at the airline are calling for the company's chairman to resign, and this is of course coming from the criticism, scandals, and so much more. It really backs up supporting voices from also the general public and ex-employees that more change is required at the Australian airline at an upper board level for them to truly progress. While the airline has a new CEO, other key board members do still remain in place, including the chairman. And with morale never being lower, now would be when they would want to see a change. The union says that the pilots have lost complete confidence in the chairman and the direct board, and Qantas desperately does need a cultural reset. That will never happen with the current board in place. What are your thoughts on today's stories, including maybe that last one on Qantas? Do you believe a major reshuffle is necessary if we are to get back to the golden days of the airline? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you're staying tuned for tomorrow at the exact same time, where there will be more coverage on the latest industry developments. And we'll fly.